Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to everybody new. So a few weeks ago, we did a video on a guy who got the police called on him for some domestic issue, right? He was banging his head against the wall in his house. He was yelling, maybe there was a woman involved, we're not sure. And the police knocked on the door and didn't say anything, right? They didn't announce themselves. And my point during that video was, if you don't know who's at your door, don't answer the door. If you don't have a peephole to where you can see outside, or you don't have cameras out there, and you're really curious who's outside your house, don't open the door. Say, who is it? And one of the reasons why, obviously, that it's important to not just open your door randomly for anyone is because, one, people really don't show up unannounced anymore nowadays. You have these things called cell phones, and as much as they may be destroying the world, they're good for one thing: communicating or letting someone know that you're coming over. And if for some reason someone you know does show up unannounced and you're worried about who may be at your door, they're great for a quick phone call. Hey dude, you at my door? No, you're not? Okay, well, I may get into a gunfight in a second here. So I'll call you back in 5 minutes. If I don't call back, you should probably come over here and check it out. That type of thing. And then obviously, be prepared. If you do decide to open the door for someone who you're not expecting or you don't know who it is, open the door with one hand, have the gun in the other behind the door type of thing. So we get to our point today in this clip. We've got this guy who's doing a house call for pizza. And it's pretty interesting because every time that I've ever had pizza delivered to my house, I've had to order it first. They usually don't just give away free pizza, right? I don't know, I may be nuts, but how many of you have had a delivery driver come to your house and say, hey, you know what? We just picked you out of a hat on this street. Here's a free pizza. I would be scared to eat it if that happened. But I imagine in this situation, there are times when people use being a delivery driver for a pizza company to rob houses. Oh, am I at the wrong address? You didn't take grade school math? You can't see that this is not 725 whatever street? So I just wanted to say that before we get into this, so we can see him walk up, and he does a few little knocks, very gentle at first, and he sees the camera there. Now this is pretty interesting because if you see a camera and you don't want the actual criminal activity documented, usually would make sense to smash the camera, but he's got a mask on, thanks COVID, so he's fine, doesn't matter. So then he knocks a little bit harder this time, and I don't know if y'all have seen yet, but he's got a gun underneath the pizza box. This is some really good advertising for Pizza Hut. Where are we gonna order pizza from tonight, babe? Oh, Pizza Hut. I feel like being held up in my own house. Nope. So then he actually tries the door to see if it's unlocked. What delivery driver does that? I mean, is that in Pizza Hut's policy? If you are not there when we come to deliver a pizza, we will come into your house. And then he starts banging on the door, and you can see the door legitimately moving back and forth. At this point, dude, just kick the door in. But I'm also confused how the homeowner even opened the door at this point. Because you can tell the difference between a light knock or a friendly knock versus, hey, once you open the door, I'm gonna punch you in the face if you open the door. And I've tried to analyze this the best that I can, but either the robber was wearing some roller skates or he just did some weird ass move to where he backed up like 5 feet and then came back in. Maybe there was a strong wind that was coming out of the house, just kind of blew him out of there.
Yeah, I got a pizza. Hey, wait, a motherfucker!
So then you can see him enter the house and you can hear the victim saying, I'll give you whatever you want. And this is where it gets weird. You can see his buddy run up behind him. So clearly they were planning for this guy to make entry and then other guys would come in. And look at what his buddy is holding. Those are zip ties. Now there's a few reasons why a civilian would have these. I personally have a few sets of plastic handcuffs, not for the reason why these people have them, just going in like you're a pizza delivery guy and then zip tying a guy in his own house. No, I have them because if someone tries to rob my house and they catch me in a really good mood and somehow they make it out alive, they're getting handcuffed and laying on the floor until the cops show up. That's why most civilians have them. So I think the moral of this is pretty obvious. With today's crime rate the way it is, with the amount of time it takes for cops to show up to calls, if you aren't expecting somebody at your house, don't open the door.